Good morning, everybody. What is up? It is Cowboy, Monday, 8:32 a.m. EST, and we are about to jump into the charts here. In fact, we're going to take a quick look at the news. I did put out a video yesterday that's talking about what's coming this week as far as news that might affect the markets and anything on that calendar. We're about to take a quick look at it, but anything on this calendar that is U.S. news based, right? Anything that has to do with the USD can affect every single market. Now, this is a Forex calendar, right? This is a foreign exchange calendar. It has to do with news around each currency. And that's why, in particular, if the news is US based, that can really affect all the markets, including equities, including crypto, you name it. And then the other currencies can affect the other markets, but the US is the most pertinent. So let's go ahead and start here on Monday. That's today. Not a lot going on. You have some Canadian news at 11:30. Their BOC Governor Macklin speaks. So if you're trading the Canadian dollar around, it's actually 1:30 p.m. EST. That can have an effect. And then tomorrow, 10 a.m., you have some USD news coming out, some jobs data, consumer confidence. And again, if these estimates are really far from the expectations, you could get some pretty wild moves in the market. Further down the road here, 2 p.m. EST, Swiss National Bank, that will, that could affect the Swiss franc. And the Swiss franc is a pretty powerful currency that actually can have more of an effect than you might guess if the news, again, if this Chairman Schlegel says something unexpected. And that just goes for any of these currencies, but especially Swiss franc. Again, with the Bank of Canada, they speak. And then later in the afternoon, I should say the evening, EST, 8:30 p.m. EST, Australian dollar, Aussie dollar stuff comes out. So that's going to be pretty big. It's their CPI data. Again, we went over this in the video that I put out just yesterday. So we're just going to really, really gloss over this. 5 a.m. EST Wednesday, Swiss National Bank. And then Wednesday is tricky because both the European data and the Japanese data, it's their data is going to come out for the German CPI. It's an all-day affair. And then the Japanese, the Bank of Japan, their policy rate and their monetary statement, all that stuff, we're not given a time when that happens on Wednesday. It could happen anytime. And so it's really hard to predict what might happen Wednesday. Might be a decent day to take off or just stay away from the euro and stay away from the Japanese yen. And we have to remember that the Japanese yen and the Bank of Japan and their decisions, they really have a lot to do with what goes on in the economy. We saw it in August when the Bank of Japan hiked their rates and they went ahead and took off what is called the carry trade. We did a whole treatise on that. You could go and check out our old videos. So Wednesday might be a good day to just kind of hang back from markets for me. You all can do what you like. Thursday at 8:30 a.m. EST, Canadian GDP happens. And at the same time, a lot of USD data comes out. So again, if any of these estimates are far different to what the reality is, and that can really push markets all around the world of all kinds. That's unemployment data and also core PCE, which is an inflation metric, the one that the Fed apparently likes more. Friday, CPI for the Swiss comes out at 3:30 a.m. More USD data, hourly earnings, employment change, unemployment rate, all on Friday, 8:30 a.m. And then manufacturing data at 10 a.m. So any of these news data can really, really mess the charts up and move things around. All right. So we got to be real careful watching those. Good. All right. Let's jump into the charts and let's go ahead and start with, let's see here. Let's go to the indices. SP 500. Okay. So we're just going to kind of take a look at the futures. I did a lot of these predictions yesterday, so a lot of this is going to be review for those of you who did see that Sunday video. But we do have here, oops, so I hit the wrong button there. We have here what I thought would happen, and so far it's the initial, buoyancy in the charts. The futures really popped up nicely overnight, so it looks as if what'll end up happening is going to be more likely the higher version of what I drew, where price is going to bounce around up here and head up. It might just happen a bit faster than what I drew, right? So like a lot faster. So in fact, it looks like it's probably just going to range in here for a minute and then bounce up. That's what it looks like. We'll see about it. Markets tend to go sideways into the election. However, anything can happen. You know, this is a wild election, people. You have to understand this election is probably the most important in history, in recent history anyway. And, you know, so a lot can happen depending on how that goes. And the markets are kind of on the edge of their seat, although there is an argument that the markets know who's going to win. And as far as I'm concerned, it could be either person. I mean, it's, you know, we don't need to really go over that too much here. Just understand that market's probably going to go sideways until then. Sideways to up, something like this. For the Dow, and again, these are the daily charts. The Dow is holding, and again, the Dow is outperforming everything. So when I say everything, I mean the other indices. I mean, it's outperforming in the last 6 months the NASDAQ and the SP 500. So the Dow might need to catch its breath a little bit before it's going to do anything. So if you look up close here, it's either going to probably range in this area. It might even pop down. And this might be a great trade if price can pop down below 42,150 on the Dow Jones. If not, it may simply range, go sideways. And then if and when everything goes up, it'll start to go up with it. But I think it might take longer than like the NASDAQ or the SP 500 because it has been doing better than everything else and everything goes in cycles. We have the NASDAQ already just pushing along really beautifully. It's just, I mean, wow, this looks like it's ready to break out big time. So this right now, this lower idea here, I'm just going to get rid of it. And it seems like we might not even see it range. We might just see it break out. And again, this NASDAQ breakout makes sense because NASDAQ was outperforming everything. And then it was kind of taking a break and pulling back. So it's had its chance to gather some liquidity. You know, it's had a chance to go down, grab some old liquidity going back to earlier this year to Q2, right? So it came down, grabbed this liquidity, right? Let me map this out so you guys can understand what I'm talking about. On the way up, price stopped, came down, and then came up. So the pivot that we're looking at, just so you understand what I'm talking about, price was on the way up, pivoted down, came up like this. Well, it came back down and it got liquidity in this square called the kill zone. And then it rocketed back up. So it's already gotten the liquidity it might need to continue upward. And it took a good, let's see where this happened in July. We're now in almost November. So it took a good 4 or 5 months to do. And because it's had its chance to go back down and grab liquidity, it may be ready to go back up. And NVIDIA seems to be leading and even holding this all up. So NVIDIA, we'll maybe take a look at that right here. And then we're going to get into Bitcoin with our private members here. It's almost time to go to that private live lab. Let's take a quick look at NVIDIA. NVIDIA Corp. Yeah, so NVIDIA flirting with its highs. It did have to pull back, but came right back up. And its pre-market is gapping up right now. Looks like we're going to see a gap up on the open. So NVIDIA getting ready to break highs. Everything is bullish about NVIDIA. You know, again, it took a little bit of a break here, as things do, but it does look like NVIDIA may want to continue up. We'll see about it. I mean, this thing is a train. If you go to like the higher time frames, it's just bullish and nothing else but bullish on the high time frames. So we'll see what happens to it, though. Not everything goes up forever. Even NVIDIA had its pullback. For the moment, though, it does look like it will break the high and continue upwards. So let's see here. Got the right metrics. Yeah, the high time frame is just nothing but bullish. It's amazing. All right, we're going to flip over to the private live lab. So let me go ahead and do that. But look, zap the QR code in the top right-hand corner of the screen. If you do that, it's going to take you to algofactory.tech. What we do is we teach people how to trade. We teach you how to build your own trading algorithms. That doesn't mean that you have to do a single line of code. You're just simply learning how to trade, learning how markets work. And if you're already a trader, we actually have helped a lot of people who are already trading very quickly fix a lot of the problems that they have and become profitable. So if you come on over to algofactory.tech, that's what we do. I'm going to go ahead and start that over here. Give me one moment. Yep. All right, perfect. We hope to see you over there. Create your job, upgrade your life. See you on the next one. Don't forget.
Join us